Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We absolutely appreciate you for talking to us. We're glad you enjoyed that particular interview right there with the CAS in the Ministry of ICT. We appreciate your feedback in regards to that particular discussion. Thank you, Jared Ombui. I see James Kitheka, Corios Achilles, Hangman also tuning in, Christopher Mololo. I also see Victor Kipngeno tuning in. We appreciate you for making time to always be with us every other morning right here on Good Morning Kenya. And we're all about positivity, bringing you such good vibes, and it's so amazing that we also get this from the leaders that we elect. You know, there's always a ray of sunshine. In as much as we always say our leaders are not as good as we want them to be, it is not the entire lot. We have such good leaders who are out there, and it is so encouraging when one of them is such a young person. At just 29 years old, she is doing fantastic things. So we appreciate you for also appreciating her and doing what she is and doing what she's doing. So keep talking to us using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. Our official station handle ever remains at KBC Channel 1. My handle is a Jane Wambui across all the socials. And right now we want to continue with, get started with the next discussion. And this is our lifestyle item for the day. And today we're just focusing on youth and innovation and looking at how entrepreneurship is right at the center of that whole conversation. And we are focusing on especially the lot that is in universities. You know, many a times you go through your studies in campus, then unatoka nje ndio unaanza kutafuta kazi. And for so many, we always complain, hakuna kazi, nimekuwa nikitamak, or you end up doing something that is totally away from what you studied. So how can we start building our entrepreneurial skills when you are still in campus, so that by the time you are leaving school, you are better positioned to go about securing yourself in this job market in whatever industry that you may choose to go to. And we want to focus on this particular discussion, bringing in the Hult Prize competition. And with us in studio this morning, we have representatives from the Hult Foundation. They are Hult Prize officials. I'll start with the lady to the extreme left of studio this morning. She is Fiona Mugambi, who is a Hult Prize official in charge of the judges coordination under University of Nairobi. Karibu, Fiona.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you. And to my immediate left, we have Festus Sanok, who's also a Hult Prize official in charge of marketing. He's the marketing director. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you for being with us this morning. And maybe I could just start with you, Festus. Are there any social media handles that our viewers need to get onto to just try and keep up the conversation on social media as much as it is here on KBC as well?
Yeah.
Give us.
We are on social media at Hult Prize UN. We are in Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are live on Instagram.
We are live on Instagram and on KBC.
All right. On KBC.
So ukifuatilia hapa, you can also contribute what you want, what you think about this whole conversation on our socials. And again, the hashtag also to get on is Good Morning Kenya. Now, let me come to you, Fiona. Looking at the Hult Prize, for the benefit of our viewer, and especially more so focusing on the youth who might not really know what it's about, maybe you could tell us a bit about the background about Hult Prize.
Okay. Hult Prize is a multinational organization that seeks to provide funding to startups, to young entrepreneurs who would like to start businesses.
Yes.
So it was founded around 10 to 11 years ago. And the goal is to make students come up with innovative ideas, ideas that help achieve the SDG goals, ideas on innovation and big ideas basically. So what it helps, it's that once a student applies and this idea is very good and it comes up to be a very good startup, this group of students will be able to get funding, and they'll be able to actually actualize this idea. They will, you'll find most of the time students keep saying, young people keep saying they don't have money, they cannot, do not have resources. So Hult Prize comes in at that point to provide funding to students who would like to start businesses.
And you rightfully put it, it's a multinational effort that has been put forth into this particular project. But let me come to you, Festus, looking at the fact that, yes, in as much as it is very multinational, but looking at how it is appreciated in the Kenyan space, how are we doing, especially when it comes to how our students know it and understand it and appreciate it?
Okay, thank you. What happens with Hult Prize, it begins at the university level. So every university in Kenya gets an opportunity to be part of it by organizing on-campus competition, which we're also doing it in UN. In the on-campus competition, the university calls out the student. The students come up with their startup ideas. They present it to the panel or to the judges. You have had Fiona is the judges coordinator. So from the on-campus, we get a team. We get three teams which proceed to the international level for competition. So this year, University of Nairobi, we have organized this activity. We are glad to say that we have made great improvement. Last year when we did this, we had about 25 groups, teams of students coming out. But this year, with a lot of activities and mobilization, especially now that students are much relaxed, they don't have a lot of things to do, we have gotten about 580 teams applying. So this is 580 teams coming up with startup ideas. This must be the largest startup competition in East Africa.
And in as much as we've had this pandemic, I mean, you would expect the contrary situation, but this is when we're having so many of them coming on board. Now, looking at how things were last year, maybe from what you saw from last year's competition that is different from this year's, what was it about last year that maybe contributed to some of this youth not being as open to joining this competition as they have this year? Let me start with you, Fiona.
Okay. So we might say that the pandemic, when this pandemic has found us, it has also been a blessing in disguise. Because you find that last year, most students were just busy grinding books. All they're thinking is that it's these books. These are the books which are going to give me a future. I'm only going to get money from these books. But then you see, even as Nadia was saying, you also have to have a side hustle. So you find that many students this year have had to stay at home. You see, most students are relying on pocket money from their parents, and now they have to come up with ideas to now actually be independent on themselves. They don't have to wait for 4 years to finish their campus time so that they can be able to go out into the job market. So you find that this pandemic has made students think, what am I doing with my life? What can I do to self-sustain myself? If this pandemic does not go away, if schools do not open very, very soon, how am I going to self-sustain myself? So I think with this coronavirus, and also even us as a team, I think we have also done a pretty good job in marketing and creating self-awareness on how these hustles like starting a business is actually a lucrative future plan. This has enabled many students to apply. And I like that you acknowledge you have put in effort this time.
And it's very good to appreciate yourself. Because I mean, sometimes you might be putting in so much work and you don't get to just step back and see what you're doing. So kudos to that. I like that. I like that.
Maybe in addition to that, COVID has taught us you can do without the jobs. You need to create jobs for yourself. You don't need to be employed anymore. Then there's this issue of working from home. Because this year's competition, for the quarterfinal and semi-finals, we'll do it online. So no matter where you are in Kenya, you can take part in this. So we are giving opportunity to students, wherever you are, come out. Okay, we already have the teams. So we are encouraging more Kenyan youth to come out, present their ideas, and change the world.
And
let them be the drivers of this economy, the drivers of Kenya, the drivers of tomorrow. And we started by now. And just looking at, this population that is students in university, do you need to be like in third year or fourth year to take part in this? Or as long as you are in any tertiary institution, you qualify to take part in this? And also for those who have already completed their studies, but they are yet to graduate or get a job, what are some of the requirements that you need to take part in this competition? Okay, what happens, different tertiary institutions have the capacity to organize this competition. So as far as you are in a tertiary institution in Kenya, TVET, colleges, universities, you can liaise with Hult Prize International, get the approval and organize this thing. So it's every youth who is in tertiary institution in Kenya can take part in this. In record, we have about 40 running institution in Kenya, tertiary, organizing this thing. So in University of Nairobi, we have done it twice. This is our second time. We had an opportunity last year to go to the regionals in Cairo. One of our team succeeded. and we are presenting a very nice technology. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's called the Jijue app. It's an application whereby you can test yourself, diabetes, HIV, and weight using an application. So it was one of the team that went to the regionals. So this year we are expecting to go to the finals in New York.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because we have put a lot of energy in this. We are organizing. We don't want just our team to come and present this.
Yeah.
We are organizing boot camps, inviting who is who in Kenya to come and train them, talk to them. So far we have done 2 boot camps. The third one is happening today. We are planning to have about 12 boot camps to put into perspective, to tell the student this is what you can do. The participants, the people who will be presenting, we give them like a training on how they can make the ideas best, look best, because we are talking of sustainability.
Yes.
We do not want an idea whereby it can only be applied in your rural area,
yes,
in your Narok County, in your maybe the immediate environment
that you're in.
So we want to be sustainable. And when we talk of sustainability, we talk of the environment, and we talk of being at a global level, whereby you compete internationally,
yes,
not only locally, but your idea can be replicated anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An idea that just transcends borders,
Sure,
is not limited to the
sure,
environment that you're in. And you know, as you have mentioned, you know, there's this brilliant idea about the Jijue app, and in as much as it did not win the prize, it also is such a fantastic idea. And for those young people who are watching us this morning and they want to take part in this competition, they have fantastic ideas, and we know not everybody's going to win. Ultimately, there's going to be only one winner.
Yes.
I understand there are over 2.1 million people who have already joined this competition globally, and there's only one who's going to win this prize. But for those who might not win, what other prospects are there for them to just keep encouraging them to not give up? In as much as it's a very big pool, they still have an opportunity to develop these ideas. How can they be facilitated to keep doing what they're doing? Let me hear from you, Fiona.
Okay. So there are 2 things there. The Hult Prize winners for 2013, the ones who did the Bupas, it was actually the startup was actually started in Kenya, and these guys actually won 100 million Kenya shillings. So these guys, before they even got to win this, do you know that they were not selected to go to the finals? So they had to apply again on their own and fund themselves to go there, because that is how much they believe this project is very lucrative, and they actually won the money. They did not just give up, they applied again. So, but for those, I want to encourage, for those who will not even be able to take their projects to the finals, do not give up. We have rockstar judges who will be coming to judge your work and everything, and we have sponsors. We are working with very big companies, and once they see the potential in your project, definitely it will be sponsored. So do not give up. And I was in one of the boot camps by Dr. Robert Chawe. He was saying, even as you're applying for this Hult Prize program, you know, the problem with youth these days, even when they're looking for such opportunities, they are always just looking at the money, at the 100 million Kenya
How much
shillings.
am I going to make from this?
Yeah, they're not looking at the business idea. How viable is it? Is it something that even if I do not have many resources, it's something I will still be able to actualize, even if I do not get to the finals? So what I would like to encourage you, do not even think about the money, such that if something happens and you don't get to the finals, it is something which you can still continue to actualize, because you believe this is a very viable business idea. So it can still be taken up by the sponsors.
It's just because you didn't get this doesn't mean it's the end of the line for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In addition to that, what we are doing this year, I've told you we have got 580. So our plan is to, out of the 580, we want to have 100 ideas to be facilitated by the university.
Oh, wow.
So what we are doing in the recent past, we are calling out for sponsors and partners to partner with us in this, because if you see youth coming with 580 ideas, they really want to be part of this. So we are doing this with the university, with the support of the VC. We are calling out to different partners, different sponsors, so that even if everyone who will proceed to the semi-finals in our campus, we want them to have support, whereby even if you don't proceed to the Hult Prize to compete for the $1, we want you to have a platform you can implement your idea here in Kenya, here in the University of Nairobi, and make your idea come into reality. So we are telling the teams, do not worry about the USD. It's only one person who will win it. And mind you, last year, Hult Prize winner, global winner came from Kenya. So we are expecting this time it will also happen, but in addition to one, we cannot be having only one idea every year. So we want to have at least 100 of them with the support of the university, with the support of the sponsors, with the support of the partners we have, and we are calling out for them. We want to have at least whereby we can accelerate the ideas, come into reality, and we'll be able to sort our problems here in Kenya, because the theme is we want to use food as vehicle for change. So in that, there are so many ideas here, but we can only have one. What about the other? What about the 579? So we are thinking of them. For those who will proceed to the semi-finals, be assured there is something for you. There's something in the kitchen cooking.
There's something for everyone who's taking part in this. And just looking at all the different campuses that are going, or rather have already and some that haven't, because they are unsure of things here and there. What form of support do you feel is really going to go a long way to help the students, in as much as they have these brilliant ideas, they want to put them in place? The institution also has a role to play in empowering them and helping them, further develop their ideas. From where you sit and from what you have seen, how can the institutions come in and help the students themselves, especially looking at the theme for this year about food as a vehicle of change?
Oh, thank you very much. So I think the role that institutions play is, first, is to help even the on-campus programs create awareness, because you find that in University of Nairobi, we are very, very lucky that the VC and the DVC actually support us, and they help create awareness through their social media platforms and through sending out mails to everyone. So I think creating awareness and actually supporting the on-campus, the Hult Prize on-campus program, and actually showing that it's actually something very serious and very viable, because you find there are programs which are out there to con people, to steal people's ideas and things like that. So first, I think the institutions can actually liaise with the on-campus programs, just as UN has done with us. And I think number two, it's you'll find that part of the curriculum, I think if the professors, even in lectures, they should also encourage their students. It's not always all about grinding books, because at the end of the day, when you get out there, you need to be street smart and book smart. So I think the whole awareness issue is something that the institution can do for us.
All right. And now let's just come to the competition for this year, the 2020-2021 year. Theme is food for good, just trying to understand how you can transform food into a vehicle for change that will create jobs, stimulate economies, and reimagine supply chains and improve outcomes for 10 million people by 2030. I mean, a student might read that and be like, guy, where do I even start? That is it's a heavy statement in itself, but it has so much power in helping to understand the youth, how much power they have. The youth dividend power is very misunderstood. And looking at this theme, how can you just talk to the youth to let them know that such change by 2030, targeting at least 10 million people, is within the youth dividend? How can we help them better understand the power that they hold?
Okay, the startup idea is, we are not telling the student to come up with an idea that can make you self-employed. No, we are telling the student, come up with an idea whereby you can create a business system, a system that will exist for the next million of years. Because even here in Kenya, we have many companies or restaurants that are from the US. The owner doesn't need to come here and manage the startup. So what we are doing, we want the student to come up with business system, business model, or ideas that can transform these and can be replicated many years after they are gone. For example, in this year, as a way to accelerate their thinking, to motivate them, to stimulate them, we are doing with the community, we are thinking of how we can preserve kunde. Kunde is a Kenyan vegetable.
Traditional greens.
We are thinking of where we can dry it and store it. Mind you, if you dry kunde, can stay for 2 years. But when it is fresh, can only last for 3 days. So this is something we can come up with, a system of drying and storing this. So we want to stimulate, whereby you think of a system. Don't think of being self-employed. No, think of a business system whereby when you are gone, people can still say, this is what this and this doing, this is what the solution you offered. So that is the encouragement we are calling out to the youth. We are telling them, come out, bring a system, bring an entrepreneurial business model whereby you offer solution not only for this generation, for the next fifth. Even the Bible tells us that you should leave wealth for your that generation.
Yes.
Sure. So this is what we want to encourage the student. Don't think of being self-employed anyway. We want you to be a businessman. That is the entrepreneurial mind. Entrepreneurial minds tell us that if you have a business, you don't need to be there every day. You don't be, if you are doing a business whereby it's only when you are there that the business can run, then that is self-employment. You are not a business person. You are just self-employed. You are only enjoying your day's labor. But when you are not there, the business is dead. So we do not want such kind of a scenario, because such is not sustainable. We are here for a short while. We are here for few years, 100 years or less. So we want something that can be sustainable, can transform the lives of our generation, the next generation, the third generation, because we have seen it done by others.
Yes.
So why not we Kenyans? This is now the opportunity for the youths, and I want to thank them for coming out, for bringing out the word of ideas. I'm also inviting you to listen to during the presentation.
Yes.
You can hear, you see what they have. We don't want to preempt it here, but we know we are doing something good. We have so many ideas, brilliant idea.
Yes.
That's why we are even confident to call who is who in Kenya, the business people, the institution, the multinationals in Kenya. We are come and support these youth, because they have shown that they have portrayed the vigor, the energy to be part of the change that we need. And maybe to mention about the food.
Yes.
During this coronavirus, we have realized that food is very key, especially now we are, the families, now the whole family is at home. You have to provide, let's say for the kid, 4 meals a day, and then for the adult, you need to provide 3 meals a day. So if we continue with this trend, maybe for the next 2 years, the sustainability of that will be in question. So we want to to give solution on how we can preserve food, we can bring the change such that humankind will not lack food in the next few years. So we are encouraging the students, think of food. The food it's somehow an interesting factor in our society.
Yes.
Because without food, there is no life, there is no humankind. So come out, bring out the ideas, bring out the systems that can change the world.
Yeah. Maybe to just add to what Festus has said.
Absolutely.
When you look at the challenge for this year, it's actually quite dense.
Yeah.
And it can be very easy to misinterpret it. They do not mean like we are trying to solve food challenges, like the food crisis, like prevent hunger. But what we are talking about really is the human experience. We're talking about reimagining supply chains. Like you find like food can go through lots of processes, and there's a lot of mismanagement in the middle, in between that. Maybe you as a youth, you can look into that as you're applying for the Hult Prize. Also like processed foods. You know, such things. Do not overthink this challenge for this year. It may look very dense when you read it, but it's actually very simple when you actually just split it into various pieces.
Just break it down and understand it for what it really means.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
About looking at, just the social impact that food has, and just trying to change the mindset of the youth, because the youth has been known to be a population that thrives on instant gratification.
Exactly.
Mtu anafikiria nikipata hiyo 1 mil USD nimeomoka, nimekafunga, and you are done, you are set for life.
Yeah.
And many a times we've heard of so many people who get lucky overnight.
Yes.
You get a huge amount of money.
Yes.
2 months down the line,
yes,
you've squandered all that money, because it's all about instant gratification, as opposed to looking at social impact. But also looking at that particular issue, how then do we just try and change the mindset among the youth to move from instant gratification, in as much as you want to live a good life, and understand the delayed gratification, which brings about also that social impact that we are looking to see in the society that we don't see, and especially coming from the younger part of the population. Let me start with you, Fiona.
Okay. I think the problem with us youth, it's that, exactly that, instant gratification.
Yeah.
And it's something I think we need to change the mindset. Like our parents, you'll find that they had to like work very, very hard to get to very senior levels. Yes, they had to work hard like for over years. But us, when we get into that job market, when we start this business, we want to get profits just like that. We are not patient. And I think it's something that we need to change within ourselves. And I think it's just a mindset issue. You just decide and say, hey, you know what? I will be patient. This thing is not working out now, but that doesn't mean that I should just give up. You see?
Yeah.
Like, if you see that this solution for this food challenge is not working out, it's okay. Try again. Do not give up. And it's something you need to work and work and work and work and work so that you get you reap the benefits. It's not something that is just going to happen overnight. Yes.
So you need to understand that.
Maybe to add on that, the youth is a group that has been misunderstood in the past because
completely.
Sure, no youth that want quick money. The point is, it's what the environment is teaching us. It's what is in the society is teaching us such. So we are calling out, and I've told you that we have boot camps. So we want to train all the participants, all the youths who can take part in this. We want to tell them that you don't need this quick money.
Yes.
For in the recent past, especially when we were having the betting, it is now gone. No one can measure the achievement that they made using such activities, quick money. So, my due, if you read it to the people who have made it in the world, they are business people. No one has made good money or good that you can say that you can even study before people had explained to them that they have made it using this quick money.
Yes.
Because quick money also goes out very quick. So we want people who will transform our society, who will transform even the future generation. Because if you come up with an idea that can be used as an example, what are we doing? We'll be telling the others that you don't need quick money. All what you need to do is sit down, come up with a system, look for capitation, look for support, and then you start doing something good, something that can be even of something ethical. Because if you think of quick money, you'll not even be able to handle your expectations. Because quick money comes with a lot of stress, with a lot of, you know, we are now talking of mental problems in Kenya. Why? Because we have some set of people who think that all what I need is quick money. And quick money will bring you quick problems. Quick problems will bring you death.
And you see, like Hult Prize,
Yeah.
even when you get this seed capital, you have to, I want you to appreciate that it's not something, that seed capital will not be found very easy actually, because it's a 1-year program. And the process it takes, because now imagine we have 583 teams. By the time we get the 2 teams that will proceed to the regionals, the 582 will have been weeded out completely. So those are the unserious, let's not say they're the unserious ones, but you'll find in that group, you'll find the 2 people are the ones who have been found that like the best amongst that category. And even once they get to those 2, it's not that they will not just win. There is also another process. They will meet with other people from other countries, other teams.
Yeah.
And then there's also an accelerator program for 2 months. So you'll find this Hult Prize, it is not a quick money thing. Because you will find, I don't know if you've watched The Survivor. Like The Survivor is the one, it's that show about people competing for this money and people stay in this island for a very long period of time, and you find some are giving up and things like that. So there's a rigorous process that before you attain this 1 million USD, you will for you to attain it, you will have been found to be very, very fit for that money. You will not just squander it.
Yes.
So it's not quick money, that one.
Yes, and just at that point, I'd just like to help even our viewers understand the responsibility that is now placed on the students themselves. Number one, looking at the application deadline, has that already been closed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So if you haven't,
next time.
Tungoje the next time.
Sure.
Now, looking at the groups that get to come into this competition? Is it an individual-based situation, or you need to be a certain group, number of 2, 3, 4, 5? What's the description for the groups that are allowed into this particular competition? Let me hear from you, Fiona, and then we can get to hear from you.
Okay. So the groups are, it's actually a team that applies, and a team is made up of 3 to 4 people.
Max?
Of maximum 4 people.
Okay.
Yes, and I think the minimum is 3 people. So it's a team which actually wins. It's the team, or let me just say the company, the startup. It's a startup. The startup of 3 to 4 people, it's them that win this 1 million USD.
All right.
It's not just one person.
Not just one person.
Yes.
And looking at also the requirements from the students, can you team up with people from different universities?
Okay, different universities have their own different programs.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage...
Hakuna kupendana? Tuungane pamoja?
Okay, this is, of course, there must be terms and maybe some few conditions.
Yes.
So we are encouraging the students to come up as a group of people who you're comfortable with, people you can work with as far as they are student in that institution. So what happens, the reason as to why we are saying be a group of 3 to 4.
Yes.
You cannot, if your idea is so good enough, you should get at least, before you even come to present it, be able to sell to at least 3 people. This is the minimum requirement.
Yes.
Because if you have an idea, let it be, you are the only person who can understand this, even before presenting it. So it's an opportunity also to if you are many, you reduce even the errors with the idea. So if you are working as a group of 4, one can help you in the ICT, the other one can help in the community mobilization or support. So if you are working as a group, you're able to achieve much, because we do not have maybe a lot of time nowadays, especially in this competition, because it is taking only 3 months. So by 27th November will be done. I will have announced the winner. I will have done with the on-campus program.
Yes.
So you have an opportunity to get resource, to get support from your fellow group, so that by the time you are fully prepared, because we do not want a situation whereby out of the 580 teams, we done maybe over 2/4 of it.
Yeah.
So we want to have whereby the ideas are real, because if you are working as a university student, there is much expected from you. We don't just to be someone who just presents an idea and then turn down. No, because these ideas will also get the support, as I said. We want to support you as the university, together with our partners and sponsors. We want to support you, come out and put your idea into perspective, into reality, through support system which we are organizing. So if your idea is, if we get to do away to ile mchujo, tukichuja wengi, we will have a problem. So we want validate your idea at your group level.
Yes.
Sure.
Take it through the fire when it's still there.
Sure.
Ikifika huko, it'll be able to withstand the different challenges. Now, we understand that, you have this idea as a young person, but you need resources to sort of bring it to life. And for some, getting those resources could be a bit hard to just put this in, as much as it's just an idea. Of course, you need to sponsor yourself to some extent to get this idea to where it needs to be in order to be taken up. Looking at such responsibilities, and especially the financial responsibilities that are entailed in this particular competition, how do they go about handling that? For those who are saying, I have an idea, but I have zero ability to just get it going. How can they be helped in this particular situation?
Okay. So we also need to understand the fact that even when you're going to your startup, someone was telling me the other day that the first investment will be your own money.
Yeah.
It will be your own money. Before someone invests something in you, before someone invests something in your startup, clearly they should see that you yourself have also invested. And maybe you might think that, oh no, I don't have money, I can only afford this amount of money, X amount of money. Remember Jack Ma, he had to call his friends 21 of his friends and told them, hey, come and help me, give me some little money, and then when I have the profits, I will be able to pay you back. So I think if the funding is really the problem, you can really talk to your friends, and if it's a very, very viable business idea, you'll be able to chip in. But remember, nobody will invest in you if you do not invest in yourself, in your startup. Yes.
Yeah, and maybe to add on that, investment also means that you're coming out, you're investing your time, you're investing your mental capacity. So the major challenges youth we are facing is the lack of money or the funding or the capitation. So we're offering $1, although to one team. So this is what happens.
$1?
1 million.
1 million.
Sorry.
So this is what happens. We'll take you through a process.
Yes.
Even if you don't qualify, because we are targeting also a group of added idea startups to support as the organizing committee at the university.
Yes.
So what we are doing, we'll take you through a process whereby you can think of expanding your idea, your startup idea, because we always hear that a good idea doesn't need funding, because if you have the best idea, everyone will be looking for you. There is a problem, yes, in the society. Are you able to identify that problem and bring the solution? If you have the answer to that, I think the issue of funding will be sorted. Why? Because everyone is looking for this, or what you need to do is polish a bit, do your homework well, and come up with a nice idea that can be sold out to. I told you we want something that can be replicated outside Kenya, outside your adjacent community. So if you're thinking of an idea, let's say $1 million, what can you do with that? We want an idea that can put into perspective a $1 million. So such an idea, even if you didn't get to win, at least you'll have answered something, and someone can say, hey, this is a nice idea. So in our process of doing the training to the teams, we are calling out to people here in Kenya who can support these ideas, who can adopt some with through the right process, and be able to put them into action. Why? Because we want to encourage the youth. Don't worry about the funding. Come out. What you need is to come out, because Chanda Chema, Vishwa Pete. Yeah.
All right. Now,
also maybe to just add on that. CAS Nadia reminded us in the morning that if you have an idea, don't think that there's no money. The government is doing the most that they can. There are youth centers in every county where you can apply for these loans. So I think don't say that you do not have money. You've not gone out there and actually sought for this money which has been allocated to the youth at the different hub centers for the youth.
Yes. Now, there's one tweet here by John G. Mwati saying, do we have hope for the youth when all the elites use shortcuts? And bringing it now into this discussion, because I'm sure kuna mtu tu amekaa mahali anasema hii anatafuta tu ka loophole that they can take advantage of in this Hult competition. Looking at shortcuts and the fact that, as it has been put in this particular tweet, those who have gone ahead of us have always shown us, to some extent, that shortcuts, they less work and still get the cookie. How can we do away with this mentality, and especially looking at how this particular competition is more of a long-term self-sustaining project that is being put in place? Let me hear from you, Fiona.
I think shortcuts are, they are the worst. Clearly, you cannot trust on shortcuts because you do not understand what goes on in between. You will find the person who has gone the long route. This person has been able to meet with so many challenges. So if you want to take a shortcut and you've not been able, you're not faced with challenges for the long route, if you go through these shortcuts, what happens when you go to the end and actually get so much money and you're faced with this challenge, this huge challenge that you cannot be able to mitigate? What will happen? You'll just squander the money.
Yes.
Your capital will go from 100 million to zero. Just like that, within 3 months. So I think you should appreciate the process. appreciate the process, the long process, the longevity of it. Appreciate that you need to actually stay there, so that once you are in that long route, you face so many challenges, and appreciate these challenges, because it's these challenges that will teach you, that you will learn how to mitigate future challenges. Because once you have the 100 million Kenyan shillings, and you were able to mitigate these challenges before, this is something you will be able, as in once it comes, it will be like just a snap of a finger. I know what to do now. I will not have to, like, look for fixers to help me out.
Yes. All right. Now, as we bring the conversation to a close, let me start with you, Festus. Just your word of encouragement to those who have already taken part in this competition. I understand it starts with the on-campus, then we go to regional, then there's now the global accelerator. Just for those who feel like they're already just doubting themselves, they want to pull out, and yet they've already gotten to that first step of signing up their idea. How would you like to encourage them this morning?
Okay.
Very briefly, you're almost out of time.
Sure. So the point is, you have already presented, you have already come out from the crowd, you have said, I have an idea. So don't step backward. So come out, we will support you in all the ways that you can do. We are working day and night to make sure this thing that becomes a success. So maybe to talk to the youth that is outside there, the moment that you decide that this is the time, every resource you'll start putting the resources toward yourself. So don't be worried about whether you'll get the support or not. Start doing.
All right.
When you start doing, everything will be okay.
All right.
Sure.
Fiona.
Yes.
Your parting shot and word of encouragement to the rest of the students who are watching you this morning.
I would like to tell all the students, you who is watching, and majorly everyone, every young person out there, once you see these opportunities, take them, grab them, and flow with them. Work hard towards, do not let these things go by, because you find so many students let these things go by, and then you ask, mbona mimi sikupata hii? Mbona, why as in these people are favored? No, it's not about favor here. It's about grabbing the opportunity when it's presented to yourself. So yeah, just take up the opportunity.
When it presents itself, grab it and run with it.
Run.
Accept the journey for what it brings. Because I mean, you can't always just walk through life expecting all things sunshine. There needs to be a few storms to teach you how to appreciate the sunshine that comes along in life. Thank you so much. We have been talking to Fiona Mugambi, who is a Hult Prize official. She is the judges coordinator at the University of Nairobi, as well as Festus Sanok, who's also a Hult Prize official, who is the marketing director. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Keep encouraging the students to do what they're doing. I mean, it starts from when you are in school. Build it from there. And ikitoka huku nje, it is a self-sustaining idea that can create employment for the million other youths that are out here and they're struggling to get employment. With that, we've come to the end of this particular discussion and the program for the day. Thank you so much for staying with us from when we began up until now. We want to wish you a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your viewing, but we'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic edition of Good Morning Kenya. My name is Jane Wambui. Have a lovely day. God bless. See you tomorrow.